What up?
What's good?
Yo. All right, so welcome back to another Watch Your Mouth. Today's guest, you heard him on the inaugural podcast that we had for Watch Your Mouth episode 1, with none other than David Young. It's Fred, Poetic Hero. Fred Gordon.
What's goody?
You know, one of my best friends, Kicks connoisseur, poet, author.
Let's go.
You know what I'm talking about?
Appreciate it.
So, you know, we got Fred back on because, you know, as you heard in the previous episode, if you haven't heard it yet, go ahead and check that out. You know, Fred came to us, came to me while we were still in school to kind of talk about putting together a book of poems and to put together his first publication. And, you know, I was very honored by that. And we put something together. We put together Essence of My Passion. That was Fred's first publication. We'll kind of chop it up, talk about that a little bit later.
Yep.
And then, you know, not too long ago, Fred came to me with another idea for moving forward, the publication that we're kind of, you know, dedicating this podcast to as a promotional way of putting Fred's work out there, his body of work, and just getting people to understand who Fred is and you know, the kind of artist he is. So, yeah, I mean, what's going on, man? How you been, bro? How's everything going?
Everything's been good, really.
Yeah.
I've just been writing, usually working, and that's really it for me.
Yeah.
In that type of sense. I really do much because of the whole pandemic.
Yeah.
Everybody going through and all other stuff. And
yeah, the world's going through it right now, bro.
Yeah.
It's real tough. Now, you say you write a lot, and I know you write a lot because of the back and forth that we normally have and the relationship we have as far as how close we are as friends. But how do you take elements like, you know, things that are going on in the world or situations you see in life? Like where did the inspiration come from moving forward?
From moving forward, inspiration came from like when I finished Essence of My Passion.
Okay.
And I was just thinking about what my second book will look like and contain like off of that run of material. So I think the inspiration came from the inspiration from my first book. Okay. In general.
And what was mostly the inspiration for Essence?
Essence, it was that's just on me pretty much as a person, just my overall thinking, spirituality, my heart, just me, compass as a person. Yeah. That's where the inspiration came from.
That's dope.
From that aspect.
Yeah, because you do a lot of like, I don't know, I think I could describe elements of it because I helped you with the book, and then, like, you know, sometimes we'll sit down, we'll edit stuff together. Yeah. And I've heard your work for so many years that it's like, it has this, like, I don't know if grit is the right word, but I constantly go back to that word of, like, it's got real passion in it. It's got, like, a real, like, vibe to it. There's essence, you know, no pun intended, but it has, like, a feeling of it, and then you get your perspective on the page, and it's really nice to see. Yeah. And I think when we first thought of doing the book, I remember you originally just wanted to kind of have a book of poems where it was a smaller, compact size, right. You know, full spreads with two pieces of poetry on each side, so two pieces per spread. Right. And then, you know, around that time that you came to me, this was about a year ago, maybe a little longer, because I was doing my seminar, which is a prequel to your master's thesis in architecture school. Yeah. And our professor showed us these artist books. Right. Because we were doing a library and we were doing research on libraries and types of books. And when he was talking to me about artist books, it was more or less like types of publications that aren't in a traditional form factor. They're not in the traditional setting of, like, you read it forward and backward. Yeah. You know, there's little different nuances and things like that. And I figured, okay, what if we did like a photo element, or added like a photo element to it, and you know, livened up some of the poetry even more, because I feel like, as much as I wish, because I found this with some of the articles, like we put up articles on clique.the.mag.com.
Right.
And, things are great to hear and read and verbalize, and you paint the picture in your head. But people have become so visual over the last 10 years. How do you adapt to that with the written format that people become so visual? Is there a way that you gravitate toward a specific subject, or do you have to come off a little bit more brash? Like, how do you deal with people being more visual opposed to reading more?
In that type of sense, I had to pretty much pull it off like a storytelling, like telling a story.
Yeah.
So I could like grab their attention and bring their attention in more. So from that aspect, I had to just do it from their perspective on things, not their full, because you don't really know
people's perspective.
Yeah, so you just had to pull it from if they're were in this driver's seat. Same view. What I'm saying. So it's kind of like had to pull it from their perspective, just to pull them in and just have a sit down and talk and just see it for themselves in that type of sense.
That's dope. I feel like I completely understand what you're saying. You kind of draw from your audience or people that are going to be, more gravitated to your work. Yeah. And you kind of let them imagine these ideas and these perspectives, maybe not in a vague way, but you let people paint their own scenarios with the poetry.
Yeah.
Which is dope. I think it's something that I haven't seen or thought of, but maybe that just could be me being naive of what's out there. But I think it was dope to see, like, when I read and I go through some of your work, I feel this energy from you, and like, do you find yourself talking to a lot of different types of people? Do you find yourself like in a lot of different circles, kind of like just soaking in people's perspective on things, or like how do you draw this much diverse energy on or perspective on different types of walks of life?
I think how I end up drawing that in is just me being on this planet, me coming at this point in my life.
Yeah.
It's just like it's different conversations you have with people and different, like you just prior to saying, different energy you get from people and just this is different thinking. I just end up over the years I forgot about it, and then as I grew older I end up like really meditating on it and just allowing myself just to remember those things, what this person said importantly and all that other stuff, and I just drew that all in.
Yeah.
And then just put it in the body of work.
Do you think do you feel like this is your kind of therapy?
In a sense.
Yeah.
In a sense.
People read it.
Yeah. yeah. But in a sense.
But I love that topic, and it was actually something. I don't know if I can say I've done it lately or with more time, because I've had more time. But that idea of like writing as a form of meditation, I think is hits the nail on the head. Like when you have that idea that you're trying to think through, and you can go through and jot down, similar to like sketching, people do in other mediums of art or what have you, is they'll go through series of iterations or ideas, and when you do that with writing, I feel is like you get so much out of yourself. Yeah. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
You hear your own perspective on something 3 or 4 different times.
Yeah.
So I think it's something I practice. I mean, I've been trying to put articles out there since we launched.
Yes.
And it's been tough, and people have been on me like, yo, you gotta write more articles, or finish writing articles that you put out. And it's tough because, for me, writing, I mean, I'm sure for you as well. Writing.
Yeah. Writing for me wasn't like my bestest friend. I hated writing. I hated all reading, like any average child. No, I mean, dude.
You didn't like it?
I didn't like it at all.
Oh, that's the polar opposite to me.
That's the funny thing about it. Like, when I end up introducing myself into the whole poetry thing, like, it was funny because I did it through my high school years.
Yeah.
We went to high school together. I showed you word on top of work. Then after that, I had to leave it alone for a moment because I was not trying to do school. I didn't want to do school at all. I wanted to graduate. And be like everyone else. And
just go do your own thing.
Yeah. And then after that, after I put it down and graduated, and then end up realizing that what's next?
It was something more than just a school thing.
Yeah, it was something more, and I didn't comprehend it because I was young. I was naive and young, and I just didn't want to go to school. So dip out, and I was just like, and that when I end up pursuing it again, I end up realizing that it chose me. I didn't choose it. It chose me, and I was like, damn, like, should I really pursue this? That's what the thought constantly came through my mind because your family always say, yo, career. Come on, like, you got to get a job, career. And I'm like, man, I don't like career. Like I don't have
college ain't for me.
Yeah, and I'm not saying college is not for me. It's just, in my mind, in those times, everyone talked about you don't want to be in debt. Like,
shit, that's still the case, bro. Shit,
like, you
come talk to me.
Yeah, you just don't want to be in debt with it. And I'm like, okay, let me get me a little 9-to-5 joint and do it. And I'm just like, after that, I was just like, okay, 9 to 5, you sleep. 9 to 5, you sleep. You got to put some type of change in your schedule. So I picked it back up, and history's from there.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
And we're at this point now.
Yeah. I think that's such a powerful, I guess, point to make is the whole being in debt and going to school thing. Because from a young age, we're told, like, yo, you got to go to school in order to make something of yourself.
Yeah.
My parents, when they told me about going to school, I mean, I don't think I ever questioned it. I was always very, like, school focused. That was always a thing for me. I liked school and learning and shit like that, and just overall the people that I went to school with. But when it came time to go to college, I didn't really find the whole architecture thing until, like, for real. Like I said, I always say it's like my freshman year of high school that I started doing it, but I was just drafting. I took a drafting class. I thought of this idea of going to architecture school. And then even into my early undergraduate years, I didn't understand what the field was until going to school. And then you have this, like, ideological perspective on what this thing is that you're studying so many years for, that you're paying all this money for, because you're like, I'm paying all this money because I'm learning what my passion is, and I'm learning what my career is, and what I'm gonna do for the next 40 years of my life. And then you get to these times where you graduate and you start working in the field, and then people have the opposite reaction of what I'm going through right now. I got a job, and I was very lucky to get a good gig with one of my best friends. And I started my first job at a small firm, working and very hands-on. But on the flip side, if you get into the same amount of debt that I got into, to then either graduate not into a job because the field is the way it is right now, because it's something that we got to talk about. Like, what do you do?
Right.
What do? You're 20 some odd years old, and the dream you were sold is kind of like
a complete lie.
Yes and no. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. Yeah, you're right. It could be seen as they sold you a dream, and it was a lie.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm living the dream.
You're living the dream, but you also didn't go into debt to go to school.
Because I work the whole way. So
Yeah, but yeah. That's I'm not putting anything against that. If you can do that, do that. Because that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
And if I could have done it, I would have done it. But I just didn't. I didn't put my head to it. So I'm facing the consequences to that, or whatever you may call it. But what do you do at that point? Finding that passion and finding that that spark, other than what your initial career is, I think is something special.
Yeah.
But you can freelance, bro. This is showing us shit. Like, you can do so much shit from your crib.
Yeah.
So much fucking shit from your crib, bro. You just gotta put your mind to it.
Right.
It's all about the side hustle that you love.
Yeah, and not just that. It's like, right now is the tougher time to pursue that because there's so many unstable things. But I think turning the side hustle into the main hustle is always the goal. We've always said it. You and I have always said it. Turning our side hustles when we do create them and making them our main thing would be,
or just your hobby,
a hobby that makes you money.
Yeah.
Because let's not front here. Like, the point is to be able to get some groceries out of this or sustain yourself. And no one's out here like trying to be greedy with it. But I think if you can find these things that you love and you can communicate through them well, I think if you can get paid too, why not?
Yeah, that's pretty much everyone trying to be financially free.
Yeah.
I'm trying to go on vacations twice a year.
You trying to go on vacation right now?
It's cheap right now.
It is cheap right now. Flights mad cheap right now.
Yeah, but you're gonna kind of be quarantined,
Let's not talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, other than that, but like, I think, we went off on like a major tangent, but I think that sparked that idea of your passion and finding it, and it choosing you, and you having the wherewithal to understand that, this is something that you were, I guess, gifted, you could say.
Yeah.
So someone, if you believe in a higher power, they or whatever, the universe, whatever you may call it, that gifted you that ability to communicate through writing,
Right.
and to be able to listen and have the wherewithal. Like, is that something that you feel like? How do you feel that's gonna evolve? Like, where next?
That's the number one question, though.
Yeah.
I really couldn't tell you because I'm just enjoying this journey.
Yeah.
Wherever it's gonna progress to, I don't know for sure. Wherever it takes me, it takes me. I'm not trying to put any type of stress on it. Like, I'm just going with the flow with this.
I feel you.
I like, if it takes me to a place that I'm able to have financial freedom, I'm able to do a lot for people and all the other stuff, and I'm able to help out people and all that, I'm all up for it.
Yeah.
If it takes me to another path to where I end up finding myself, end up finding what else I could do as a person besides the poetry and all the other stuff, some different career, something, teaching or something, I'm all up for it. Yeah. So I'm just enjoying the ride and just seeing how everything plays out.
Absolutely, bro. I think that's something people neglect to do. Everybody's always like, oh, that's mad corny. The journey is more exciting than the destination. But when you're going through it, you realize that, like, people that have struggled and then may some of themselves will even tell you, like, that's the time to
do it.
To bask in. You gotta have fun doing your shit. Like, why people try to skip it?
I mean, people in that type of sense, people just want everything like instant, where they're not understanding like the process of anything is the most beautiful thing because you see yourself steadily growing. Yeah. In whatever you're doing. So it's kind of like when you're trying to introduce something like this to people, they're thinking like, damn, you should be having this, that, and third, which you gotta understand, like, I'm working from a ground level here. I might not have the 600 billion followers. I might not have X, Y, and Z to get me where I need. I might not have this, that, and the third. And I'm like, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to rush this. Like, if I rush this and get there, and then I lose everything, I can still get back up there. But it's kind of like, what you learn about yourself? Nothing. Nothing, because you just got it like that.
Yeah, you just gotta hand it to you.
Yeah, you just gotta hand it to you, which anyone would want that. Mm-hmm. But for me, no.
But what is that? What do you learn from that?
For
Who
me,
does that turn you into, is what you're saying?
Yeah, in that type of sense. What will it create? Will it create the best person that you are eventually? Or will you want some just instant? And then if any type of problem comes in, it breaks you down like a house. Yeah. So it's like, for me, I'm just trying to build like a steady foundation.
Yeah. And I think, that goes back to some shit we learned in school. Like, it wasn't like a textbook lesson or some shit like that, but it was like grow thick skin. Yeah. In the field that I'm in, within design in general, you kind of have to have thick skin because you're constantly getting feedback and critique. And, in the world we live in, that's how shit is online too. Yeah. You don't even have to be a designer. You could just be putting content out and people are going to say good shit. People are going to say bad shit. People are going to be indifferent. But I think when you're able to siphon through whatever that is, right, is kind of what you're saying. Is you see that personal growth. You get that grit, but you're also able to say like, oh, okay, like this negative comment or this piece of criticism, because I don't think criticism is always negative. No, it's constructive. Criticism could be constructive.
Very constructive. Just how you take it.
Exactly.
And run with it.
And it's how people say it. Because there are people that are out there just trying to give criticism just because they're assholes. Yeah. But, I think when you're able to sift through, like, okay, what is actually constructive, what is not, and then what is this person, what about the people that are just saying shit just to say shit? Whenever you sift through that, you grow that thicker skin and you put more perspective, if you will. You gain more perspective on people because, kind of like what you said, talking to all these people, you
technically learn from them. Yeah. You learn from their past mistakes, their past faults, shortcomings. You get to see in yourself what you wouldn't want to do to put yourself in a position like that person you was spoken to. So it's just in that type of aspect, yeah.
Is that why you titled the book Moving Forward? Well, at least the new one.
Pretty much. That's why I titled it like that, because it's just like I'm moving in a more constructive and positive direction with my writing and just everything else in life.
Yeah. Just based off what you learned from people?
Yeah, just based off of it's that also, and what life has taught me over the years when it comes to any situation.
I'm getting wiser, I'm getting older.
Yeah. So that's kind of what it took tell me to understand.
I'm excited for that next book too, because
I'm very excited for that too.
I've seen, like, we said earlier, I've seen your work, you've seen my work. Yeah. When I was writing heavily. Yeah. We used to, edit each other's work and critique each other's work. And the growth you're talking about as a writer, it definitely is even showing as a person. Like, I can see your perspective change on things with the newer writings on stuff, and it's dope to see. And especially now, like with the stuff that you've posted recently and the stuff that I've seen recently, like I've always seen you as like the wiser older brother.
That's funny though.
And if I'm still seeing that, that's a good sign. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, we've known each other since like my freshman year of high school. Yeah. Which is like 08.
Yeah, 08, 07.
Oh. Yeah. So, for me to still see that is good. I think it shows growth in your ability to dissect the world.
Yeah.
And dissect people's problems and turn them into triumph. Because that's what I think a lot of the things that you do in your work is mostly like
to just inspire people. That's it. Inspire, empower, give you something that you were not given.
Yeah.
Like something at like a later age or earlier adulthood period in your life is it's pretty much all the work is just inspiring you to grow as an individual.
Yeah.
Bask in your own faults, shortcomings, imperfections. Just be a better version of you before the Twitters, the Instagram, the Facebook.
Before they get a hold of you.
Yeah, before they start destroying your perspective and your mind on what you should be as a person.
Yeah.
Before they stepped in and gave you like a label about yourself.
Yeah.
Which you should already had before you pick up a phone and turn the phone into your little best friend.
Yeah. Damn, that brings me to a point. Like, I want to touch on that. But like, where did you get that I don't know what to call it. Like, but where did you get that like ability to motivate others? Like, it's a very leadership or like very big character trait. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, where did that come from?
For me, where it came from, it just came from just like just being, like you said, that big brother.
Yeah.
Just being that person now, just like step up to certain things that most wouldn't do. Which, if anyone personally knows, I'm a very quiet and shy fella, and I really don't talk to people that much. Which is kind of like
watching.
Yeah, but I'm watching. Yes, I am watching. So yeah, I'm very quiet and very to myself, but I see things.
Till you get outside, or till you get in your element.
Yeah, and then
or till you get around your boys.
Yeah, and then that's a whole different conversation. But I mean, I see things that most people wouldn't notice.
Because he's so tall.
That too. Yeah. That too. And it's just like, I see things that most people wouldn't see.
Yeah. Now, do you feel like your ability to read people, did that come from a life lesson someone taught you, or were you just naturally, like, from when you were young, you just picked up on situations well, or picked up on people well?
I think I picked up on situations and people well over the years.
Okay.
Like, it took me a little time to just understand what was going on because I was young.
Yeah.
I didn't know any better, but I was just like, when I steadily started growing and gotten older, like I just picked up on situations, people's movements, how they move, and certain things. Yeah.
It's funny, bro, because I felt like I was the complete opposite when I was younger. I was super naive to people, and still am, in a sense. Do you ever feel that it's like it may inhibit you from growing closer with people? That you pick them apart instead of like, all right, let me get to know you? Or is it just like, it's not a defense mechanism, it's just the way you interact with people?
I think it's a way I interact with people, and it kind of sometimes like destroys. Yeah, it hinders me. So it's like a yin and yang situation, pro and con with it. So it's like, I mean, it makes me lose chances with people because in my mind I have this certain perspective.
I got you.
And then after that, when I actually have the conversation, that all just fades away. And then
yeah, but I feel like it goes back to like a feeling of like the whole first impressions mean everything kind of vibe or whatever. That first impression that you get from somebody is like a very off-putting one. Obviously anybody in that situation is going to be like, all right, fuck that person.
Yeah.
But if you're going to be able to, if you can read even further into that, maybe that has protected you from crossing paths with people that mean you harm.
Yeah.
So I think those defense mechanisms, while people do I guess people will like talk bad about them, but I feel like if you got a defense mechanism or you got some sort of wall that you put up, it's clearly for a reason.
Okay.
So why just immediately call that person out for having their guard up or wall up when clearly maybe you just got to talk to that person.
Right.
Oh, I have a good question. Okay, if you feel that way about like people's defense mechanisms or whatever, who is like moving forward for? Is that to break someone's barrier down without having to actually have a conversation with somebody in person?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a specific type of person you think it's geared to? That's, the book is better for them to read and just kind of realize, like, listen, it's okay.
No, it's the book in that type. The book really isn't for like that specific. It's for everyone.
Yeah.
Now, let me be very specific. It's for everyone. For children, if they understand the content, it can be, but it's for everyone. It's just like look past a bad relationship, bad anything related to your childhood, your father, someone touching you, or any type of aspect like that. That's what is there for.
In there for everyone.
Yeah. And I think it's definitely seen throughout the project. I think there is definitely something in there for everybody, and I think if you have a certain misconception about people or you've been jaded, I think just give it a flip through. Just give it a flip through. Go ahead and read that. I think the best way to put it, that question was great. I think the best way to put it would be like, who would be the first person you give this to?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you had a person on the top of your head, who's the first person you would give this to? You don't gotta put it out there like that, but you
like
get what I'm saying? Like who would the first person be that you give it to and be like, yo, do you mind checking this out?
That's a very good question. First person I would think to give it to.
Don't put anybody on blast.
Yeah. But I think
I was about to like. Like a $150. I was about to.
I saw
like,
I
saw it was 22. I was like, I think it goes to both of our points. Like, I think, like you said, if you went through something at a young age or now or anything, if you've had a situation arise where you felt less than, just give it a look.
Yeah, just read it.
Read it, and if you don't really like reading, there's pictures in there, courtesy of Raw Culture. Shout out Raw Culture.
Shout out them boys.
Shout out Raw Culture.
Shout out them boys.
So that's in there. But other than that, like I feel like the project has so many layers to it.
Right.
Because your content has so many layers to it, like I said. And then on top of that, you throw in, the visuals, and the visuals kind of like help you paint this picture through your perspective and through, the different photographers' perspectives and things like that. But I think as like you said, as life goes on and things progress and your perspective on things change and you grow as a person, like the way these things evolve are gonna have to evolve in medium as well. Yeah. I've told you too, like we gotta have to work on different projects. I think we're gonna have to cook something up soon. And I talked to you about it. Okay. We're gonna have to cook up something soon along with more books because I feel like with the article, like obviously we'll update the articles on the website. Accordingly because that's what they are. clique.the.mag.com. You read Fred's article. Essence of My Passion and Moving Forward both have bios and like full reviews on there, so you check that out. But I think when you go through different shit in your life, and you don't have something like that, you lose out on that ability to grow. And help yourself get past certain issues that you may have, which is tough because, you know, you find yourself in ruts, you find yourself in mental gaps and shit like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, how do you get out of that?
Right.
Where do you get the inspiration, or how do you spark that flare within yourself to get out of a negative mindset or a negative train of thought, you know?
All right.
Maybe that book will help. I don't know. But, you know, it's something. You need to hear the opposite of what you've been telling yourself. Or
what's been told to you.
Told to you, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, I think it's something that people should be open to.
Right.
Is taking a look at those things. But yeah, other than that, man, I know we've been talking about a lot of other projects, any ideas and styles and stuff like that. But do you see yourself after these two, like you have these two under your belt, do you see yourself branching out from just poetry? Do you see yourself maybe writing a novel with full-blown characters and things of that nature? Or do you see yourself just sticking to poetry for right now?
I might just end up sticking for poetry right now. And then I might dabble in a little photography. We'll see where that goes.
Dope. Absolutely.
So I'm just dabbling.
That's what's up. That's important. I think the idea of dabbling is important.
Okay, now that we've talked about, like, I guess where you see your evolution going after these books, can you talk about more, like, I guess the evolution of where the book started for you and how it ended now that we have a physical copy and we're, like, ready to push it to the masses? Where did you see the book starting and where did it actually come to?
Okay, that's very good one. That's a very valid. I like that one.
Get you here producing, damn girl.
Okay. The initial beginning of moving forward.
Yeah. Go ahead. You can put it up there. Show the
people. Initial process. Right there. The initial process for moving forward. My beginnings forming the book. In all honesty, I didn't expect to have a physical copy of this book, to be honest with you. Like, I'm just being forthright because he had a lot of things. I had a lot of things, and I'm consistently working, and I still had stuff to be written. Yeah. I didn't know what to be put in these books. I had a lot of work, so I was just trying to shift through everything, just to make sure my message got put out correctly in my writing.
So it didn't have like a general direction that you felt you wanted to?
No, not at all.
It was just, I have all this stuff, so what do I do with it?
Yeah.
In that type of sense, yeah.
And I think we talked about that, because I said, why don't we, apart from publishing, honestly, because of all the stuff you did and because of the schooling I went to, that's kind of where Clique kind of was birthed from. This started as us just talking about, all right, let's make you a book, bro.
Yeah.
Let's figure this out. I get to test my graphics skills. I get to test these different like layout making skills. I get to test InDesign, Photoshop, Illustrator, shit like that.
Right.
And then it turned into like, okay, how do you take that book and make it more than that? How can it be a series of books?
Right.
How can this single group of works change the way someone brands their entire body of work from now moving forward?
Right.
We sat down and we talked about that, and then we talked about the way you would post and things like that. Things that I really wanted to get into on the branding side,
right? Which
I think are important. And when you talk about design, branding, publishing, like that's kind of like the aspiration of what we're trying to do here.
Right.
That it's right there. It's literally right there. It's in that book. It's designed, laid out with your dope work, and then we found ways to like incorporate graphics, different typography, and it all culminates into something, and then it flourishes into, hopefully we're able to help you, have an amazing future.
Yeah.
Publishing books, and you have like a unique page, and you have your flair of who you are as a writer.
Yeah.
And I think that's something to be put out there, because when we were crafting these books, and laying them out and things like that, I was always like, damn, is Fred gonna like this? Is it gonna come out right?
All right.
So I get you, like, oh shit, are we gonna have a physical copy? We went through a lot of drafts.
Yeah.
Shit happens.
Yeah, we went through a lot.
So, and it reminded me of, like, hey, remember what you did in school? Everything is iterative. Everything takes time. Everything takes a delicate hand and communication.
Right.
And I think it culminated into the book, and I think it was very powerful with the message and everything. So thank you for letting me, like, work on the book, because you could have went any other route.
Yeah, no problem, man.
So, but I think other than the book, like, I keep going back to it. Like, I always say that you have, like, this very spoken word-esque type of feel when you read your work.
Right.
And I feel like that audio, like, when people hear what you got to say personally, like, when you have conversations with them, and then transferring that into your work, I think would be something spectacular to see.
Right.
So it'd be dope if we got to get some cracking on that. We'll get some. We'll cook something up. Like I said,
we got something.
We gotta cook something up. We gotta cook something up. I got some ideas in the works. We got a couple people we could call to make some dope shit happen along with the books. But I think it's moving forward is a good start, man.
All right.
I liked the idea from jump, and working on it was a dope process.
So I guess I don't know if you have any more questions for Fran. Because I have a final question.
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, I'm gonna go through a couple of, like, final thoughts, ideas, music, and shit that we could chop it up about.
Like, I want your summary of the book. If I didn't know what was in here, if we weren't a part of it, how would you summarize all these pieces to someone? Not just like, okay, this will be something that could maybe change your perspective on X, Y, and Z, but, like, let's say, like, 3 sentences that, like, this is what this is.
That's a very good question. Very good question. If I had to put moving forward into, like, a few sentences, I put it as an inspiration you will never forget.
Oof. Okay.
That's my.
Yeah.
That's how I put it.
Yeah, I think so. Like, I don't know. It's gonna take people's opinion. People gotta read it.
Yeah, people
you gotta
just
read
gotta
it.
read
Give
it.
us an opinion.
Yeah.
Tell Fred what you think. What. Because everybody is gonna hit different to everybody.
Yeah.
And I realized that while we were editing it, I realized, like, certain nuances are gonna hit different to everybody.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be nice to see a diverse group of people to read it, and age groups and shit. It's gonna be nice to see the reaction, but definitely pick it up. We're gonna get the links of where we got it all available and what have you.
Yeah.
Because it's dope that it's coming out, and then we'll see what happens from there, man. I'm excited.
I'm excited too, man.
Get into people's hands. Hopefully, once things open back up and shit.
Yeah.
Go to one of these shows, sell them at the shows, get hard copies of the shows, things like that, It'll be dope to see it all passed out and people reading it and giving ideas and reviews.
And please let us know what you think, like, once you get the book.
Honestly, I take every single critique. It helps me grow as a person. I don't negative, positive. I'm just here to learn. Constructive. I'm just here to learn, grow as a person.
Absolutely.
If you think there's anything that could be better, anything that needs honing, obviously, let both Chris and Fred know, whoever. We'll get the info.
We'll get the info.
Yeah, we'll know. It's all good. It's all about building this whole thing up and building people up so that their art can, get out there. And, thank you again for that. Because, like,
no problem,
it's one thing for me to just be like, I'm going to just make this a design thing or, a branding thing. And, but the fact that I could, help you out and hone my skills, and at the end of the day, it made us communicate more, which is always good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it made our friendship stronger because we had to like constantly communicate. Hey, like what you think about this piece? Oh, I fuck with that. Like, I would change X, Y, and Z. Like I feel like that constant communication, in building something when you have like an end goal in mind is super powerful.
Yeah.
I think it's dope. Man. I appreciate you. You got any final word? Any music you've been listening to? Anything you've been chopping up lately?
Nah, same for music. For me, it's just same old flow, same Pusha T.
Got you.
Big Crit, same old Big Sean, Cole, Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
Boss.
Hey, okay. I see you.
Who else?
Anything this quarantine has put you on?
No, not yet. Hold on.
Hold on. Let me pull up.
I heard, and also, let me not forget Freddie Gibbs. He came out with Freddie Gibbs came out with an album. I heard that.
That shit was hard.
Yeah.
Damn, what was it that everybody was on last week? Last week, I'm Friday. A minute ago. No, it wasn't. Bro, let me tell you, them boys from Griselda been putting out music.
Oh, yeah?
Always putting out something, bro. It's nuts. I'm not gonna play nothing. I don't know. I know better. Nah, but they've honestly been putting out shit. And oh damn, what was it? Conway put something out. Oh, and then oh shit. Anyway, been on that, like the whole Griselda wave, been on that for like ever.
Yeah.
For like a good minute. I feel like I had them shit on loop for a minute. So, but yeah, bro, we gotta get on one of these podcasts and just chop up music for like a solid hour or something like that. Just because I've been trying to talk to people about it and just like nerd out about music for like a solid hour.
Yeah.
I think if I find a couple people to just chop it up, we can have a whole little series like that where we just chop it up about music. That'd be cool as fuck. But I appreciate you coming on, man. Again, I want to thank you for letting me be a part of the book and putting it all together.
I do got one more thing though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I want to do something special for the people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, might do something not from moving forward. I might do something just from my previous work.
Okay.
If you cool for it? If you cool for
Fire,
it?
absolutely.
Oh, are we talking about a giveaway?
Maybe a little something.
Oh.
Shit, okay, stay tuned for that then. All right, bet. Stay tuned for that.
I'm about to do it. I'm about to do it now.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely, bro.
Okay. Let's go.
Go ahead, bro. Yeah, I love it when people preview stuff on here, bro.
All right. Title of this piece called It's Time Now. I had a dream that the concrete underneath my feet was the foundation to direct me to the place I needed to be, to feed my thoughts, not my ego, because when the time came for me to be the greatest version of myself possible, I had to assassinate the part of me that came between me and my dreams, so I can proceed in the trajectory that birthed the best version I saw within myself. Don't get it twisted. Rome wasn't built in a day. It took trial and error. It's a development that preceded the process and became something remarkable. Years upon years got me where I am now. So you can also be a success, not in a time frame everyone wants for you, but in your own time. We are the ideas that a lot of dreams created. A beautiful masterpiece. We consistently miss the mark that chooses us to be great people. Sometimes it may not register at the moment how powerful we are until the journey shows us how powerful we've become. Now it's time to be strong, because that's the only choice you have. Thank you.
Dope. That's what I'm talking about, bro. I appreciate that.
Appreciate it, man.
Appreciate you always previewing shit out here. That's dope. But yeah, man. If you weren't sure what was gonna come from moving forward, now you know. You got a little snippet right there. So go ahead and pick that up. We'll have everything. We'll have everywhere you can pick that up. Pre-orders and all that good shit. We'll have it all figured out and have it all out to you ASAP. But, once again, thank you, Fred, for your time. It's greatly appreciated.
No problem.
All y'all, appreciate you for listening. My producer, thank you very much. Appreciate y'all. Peace and blessings.
God bless.